All right, here we go. It is another Sunday night live. Everybody's lining up. Good to see you all here. Thank you, Uncle Al, for posting that. I appreciate it. If you are in here, give me a thumbs up. And yeah, please share this on your community channel so we can continue to grow and bring you the latest and greatest and the truth of health and wellness. So my goal from this channel is to really help you navigate through all of the confusing information that is out there, because it's oftentimes just that. You don't know what to do. You're not sure, you're told you should take supplements, but you go into the store and you look and your eyeballs spin in your head and you don't know which one's which and how to choose. So that's what I'm here for, to help distill all that information down for you. And thank you, Wickershire. I appreciate you streaming. I appreciate that very, very much. Yes, please hit that like button for me. That definitely helps. Gil, Campanton Family Compound, thanks for being here. Kathleen, welcome in. Hey, Mad Chick Acres, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. I will say that I'm going to jump off of here a few minutes early today because I'll be heading over to Garden State Gardener channel. So we're going to go over live with Joe. I'll be with Dr. Erica Peabody, my co-host and confidant over on our show, Chiropractic is Sexy, every Thursday at 1 p.m. So we're going to jump on with Joe tonight on Garden State Gardener. We're going to talk about chiropractic and why is it so sexy. So you're not going to want to miss that. And I'll eventually drop his link here, unless somebody wants to grab that for me and drop it in here. I appreciate it. All right, great. I need to go over here. So I'm experimenting today. And there we go. Okay. So I added Instagram Live on here. So we are now streaming on YouTube, Instagram Live, and LinkedIn. And I think, no Facebook today. Okay. YouTube, Instagram Live, and LinkedIn. So let's see how that goes. So it's all an experiment, you guys. It's all an experiment. All right, there we go. I've got Instagram Live up there. So perfect. Okay, there he is. Okay, wonderful. Just announced that I'm going to be jumping over onto Garden State Gardener at 7 p.m. with the wonderful Dr. Erica Peabody. So, good, King Poobah. I appreciate that. Thanks for letting me know. It was a total experiment. So I'm so glad you said that. Excellent. Oh, wait, now it said end live. No, I don't want to end live video. I don't see it. There we go. Okay. I see it up there live. Got it. Okay. Perfect. All right. That works for me. Great. So, there's so many things to talk about tonight. And the biggest thing on the health and wellness craze menu is the weight loss drugs. So I wanted to talk to you about the top 10 food and nutrition tips, or top 10 food and nutrition trends for 2024. And they're having trouble streaming to Instagram. Hold on. Once you're live, I'll find it at the top of my Instagram feed. No. Oh, it ended. Why did it end? That was dumb. Okay. We're going to have to just keep experimenting with that because I can't get that to jump over there. Okay. Let me try that one more time. Go. Bear with me. So we've got, there's so many trends. The biggest one is these weight loss drugs. Everybody's jumping on the bandwagon. What's interesting is that you can tell when someone is taking them. And when I say that, what I mean is that when people lose weight that quickly, they get, it's actually called Ozempic face. So your skin starts to look like it's falling off of your face. And you start to lose a lot of muscle mass. And when that happens, you end up looking really thin, like unusually thin, and not necessarily healthy anymore. So I do want to talk about that because that's one of the top 10 trends, and we need to discuss what is this drug all about? Drop this in here. Try it one more time. Oh, I don't think that's going to let me do that. All right. Okay, we're going to skip Instagram tonight. Okay. Oh, hey, Corky. How are you? Nice to see you. You never called me. I hope Joe gave you my number. I gave him my number to give you. So call me whenever. Happy to chat about what you need, whatever you need. So Corky, would you please go take Garden State Gardener's channel and drop it in the comments? I would love you for that. Please and thank you. And Wickershire, yes, absolutely. Here for you guys. Here for you guys. Hey, Paula, P squared, nice to see you. So as we're talking about the weight loss drugs, this is just another. We're in a season where the food system is becoming far more contaminated. It's very, very difficult to get away from chemicals in our food and things that are just not food-like anymore. One of the other things I'm going to kind of mix these a little bit, but one of the other things on that list is protein forward diets. And so y'all are reaching for like plant-based stuff. So we're going to talk about that too. So you're going to want to stay tuned to hear about what is all the plant-based movement. So yes, 8 carrots from the garden. Yes. So good. I'll bet I'm coming down to get some. And so we're not actually all in trouble, but we have to be really, really careful. And to your point, we're all in trouble is that we have to be so mindful, because if we aren't careful, if we don't stay, we have to pay attention and control what we can control. And even when we're doing that, there's still going to be some slips and some mishaps, and these chemicals are going to make their way into our food system. And so on Grow Big, they had a woman on last week talking about glyphosate or Roundup. And I'm going to make connection with her because I really would like to have her on this show, because this is actually what this is all about, is where is glyphosate? Where is Roundup? It is everywhere. One of the biggest things that it causes is digestive upset. So it destroys, when you spray it, it destroys things. It destroys the bugs, the good bugs in your gut. It destroys the good bugs in the soil. It destroys plants. So it's going to destroy the very things that your body needs to grow and flourish. Well, when that happens and the body can't function the way it needs to, and you get all those chemicals, the body then starts to take any of the chemicals that come into it and put it into fat tissue, because fat is long-term storage. So if you are holding excess weight, it's very likely that you're highly toxic. So how do we get rid of those toxins? I'll talk about that in a minute. But you have to pay attention to that. So if you're holding excess weight and you can't lose weight, well, are you eating foods that are high in sugars, and not natural sugars like carrots, but added sugars? I mean, sugar beets and sugar, that's all those crops are sprayed with glyphosate. It's all over. So anything that you're eating, that you're putting in your system, is very likely that it has glyphosate in it, if it doesn't come from a healthy organic source. And even then, you can get overspray. We can get minimal amounts of these things. There's like, the lowest common denominator, how much can be in there and still be called organic. And yes, it's a forever chemical. It just does not go anywhere. So start evaluating. So if you're thinking, okay, I really need to lose weight because we're going into these weight loss drugs here. If you really want to lose weight, you have to start evaluating what you're putting into your system first. So it's that, are you putting chemicals in that aren't serving your body? Because those chemicals are going to go straight back into the fat tissue for long-term storage, because your body doesn't have a safe way to get rid of them, because it just doesn't have the proper nutrient uptake to do so. So we have to start looking at that, eliminating chemicals. March, I'm going to be rolling out detox with the doc. I normally do that in February, and I just didn't get it together enough to roll it out for February this year. But that's okay. We're going to roll it out in the beginning of March. And by that time, you guys are going to be ready to jump back into your New Year's resolutions. You know, what we say 90% of people don't follow up with their New Year's resolutions or fail within 4 weeks. So, yeah, and really, really scary. I know root vegetables are the worst. And you know, love me my potatoes, right? So grow them ourselves and make sure that we don't buy traditional potatoes. And heck, if you're having potatoes in a restaurant, you know, those are those are guaranteed to be laden with chemicals. I mean, here's the thing. If you pull into a Wendy's and you're like, are those fries organic? Like, you've kind of lost the right to actually ask that, if you're eating fast food. So yeah, root vegetables of any kind. It's so sad. I don't know the answer to this question. How much glyphosate is recommended by the FDA and the food pyramid? I don't know if that's a joke or if you're asking what's the minimum amount before it becomes dangerous. But yeah. But really, all the foods that they recommend in the food pyramid are probably laden with glyphosate. So, and that is a fact right there. Yes. So there are some organic wines, and there's some companies out there. There's that. It's a multi-level marketing, which I'm not normally a fan of, but it's Scout and Cellar, and it's all clean crafted wines from around the globe. And they are less than 50 parts per million, I think, or 50 something. Normal wines have like over 300, it might be chemicals. And I don't know. You have to go look it up, Scout and Cellar. But yeah, they have these clean crafted wines, and they are wonderful, and they don't cause flushing, and they taste great. And you can get on an auto ship, which could be dangerous. But yeah. So and then there's there's a couple of different and if you go into like Whole Foods or Plum and go to the wine people, they will usually know which ones have the least amount of insult in them. So yeah. Hey, Shawnee, nice to see you. It's all my plate now. Yeah, I know. Exactly. Let's just talk about eating real food. That's what we really have to focus on. Yeah. So is it sugar from cane or sugar from beets? And I don't know if there's a difference in the crop, but yeah, in America corn is used for everything. So that's a problem, right? If it tastes sweet and it says no sugar, then it probably has artificial sweeteners, which isn't any better. And yes, Mad Chick Acres. Right. It just magically absorbs. Yes, right. That is a major boy. We fooled a lot of people on that one, didn't we? And I have elderberry and raspberries frozen. I'm going to make my own. Oh, that sounds amazing. Elderberry wine. Yes, that sounds amazing. Yeah, make your own wine. Why not? And that's one way to do it. It's one way to fight back against a crappy food system. So, and yes, yes, exactly. I have the woman that I get my chickens from and my eggs. She actually feeds her chickens. She only feeds them organic corn. So I don't know where she gets it, but it's expensive, which is why her eggs are expensive, but I pay that. So, oh, good. Nice. Love that. Cane sugar has no natural pests. Sugar beets are sprayed to death. Yeah. Okay. That's what I was looking for. Yep. There's Joe. How are you? I was just saying we're going to be on your show at 7:00 tonight. So, so let's go back to the weight loss drug real quick. And and then we'll work our way backwards on my list of things. So, we're in a place in America, at least, where we have over 80% of our population is overweight, and over 50% of our population is clinically obese. Now, this was not like this even 20 years ago. So when you think about this, it does have a lot to do with our food system, and then the marketing around that food system. So a lot of what we think is healthy for us, sometimes, we're just given again, let's just take the food pyramid, is that the food pyramid tells you that eating most of your diet of grains, breads, and cereals is healthy for you. And we know that's an absolute zero fact. So we have to, as we come into this new year, my trend that I'd like to create would be to help people understand that anything that you hear on TV and read about in a mainstream publication is probably funded by big pharma or big ag or some organization designed to make you think that their product is healthier, which is why you should buy it. So, let's just not do that. Let's just not give them the money. So yeah, corn, would you say corn is sprayed to dry it out? Yeah. And then the wheat is also. So let's see. Saving seeds and hot dry. They call it saving food for when everything else. Yeah. Yeah. No kidding. Big Mac, $5, organic lettuce, 10. It's crazy. And then when you go into a store or a restaurant, and let's say you go into a restaurant and you want like, something healthy, a salad, like they'll bring you a giant plate of fries like this, but then, your salad is like this, or your side vegetable, or oh, okay, what do you want for your vegetable? I'd like asparagus, and you get 3 sprigs of asparagus. So yeah, that doesn't work for me. So with the weight loss drug, so people are lining up to get this weight loss drug. What is dangerous about it is that it causes stomach paralysis. So it actually stops your stomach from churning, if you will. These are sort of like, it's sort of a gross term or gross description of it. But think of if something just stopped your stomach from churning, where your stomach's supposed to go like this to break down the food and move the acid around. And if it's not doing that anymore, then food's just going to sit there. So you're not hungry because the food is sitting in your stomach, making you think, sending the signal to the brain, making you think that you're not hungry because there's still food in your stomach. So there's actually already some lawsuits that have come out that these drug companies are being sued because of the fact that people are coming off of the medication and they're actually being sued for permanent stomach paralysis. I mean, can you even imagine? Like, I don't even know how you'd fix that. So really think about, if you venture into that, how's that going to affect you in the long term? Now, a lot of people will say, well, once you go on it, you just stay on it forever. Well, that's not good either, because think about this. A lot of people, welcome in. Hello. How to garden. Nice to see you. This goes to people who've had stomach surgery for weight loss. So they have the stomach surgery, whether it's a band or they have part of the stomach removed, whatever it was, to reduce the size of the stomach. Then what happens is then they didn't have enough surface area in the stomach to break down and digest food. So we got a similar issue happening with leaky gut, lack of ability to absorb nutrients properly. So then what was happening was within 5 to 10 years, people who have stomach issues or people who had stomach surgery were getting diseases of malnourishment. And they were still getting metabolic diseases, hypertension, diabetes. They were gaining all the weight back. And so, and then in disproportionate to the body, because the body, when you lose weight that quickly, you're going to lose muscle mass. and you cannot afford to lose muscle mass. We need muscle for longevity. It is our organ of longevity. If you don't have muscle, then you're going to be in trouble, because then if you go on something like that, you're going to lose more muscle. Some of the studies have reported that people are losing up to 50% muscle. So if you lose 10 pounds, you're going to lose 5 pounds of muscle. Now, that's not only critical for your immune function and for your longevity, but if you think about it, it takes so long to gain a pound of muscle. You have to work so hard to gain a pound of muscle, lifting weights, eating properly, getting the right forms of protein. But then you can lose it like that. And when you think about like how it's so easy to gain a pound of fat, and then you can lose it pretty easily with those drugs, but it's so hard to gain that muscle. So muscle is like your gold. It's like platinum. Like you cannot afford to lose that muscle. It is there for you if you get sick, it will actually help your immune system. So especially in the winter time, there's a lot of colds and flus going around. A lot of viruses. People are sniffling. Whatever it is, you need that muscle mass to help protect you, to fight it off. So it doesn't mean you're not going to get sick, but the more muscle mass you have, the more protected you are for your health, for your longevity, for your immune function. So you do not want to lose the muscle mass. Mankind's supposed to settle down in spring, grow and collect, hunt in the winter, fishing all year round. Yes. Yeah. I mean, I know recovering vegans who are like, they have a lot of health issues. I have one friend who's just had surgery, had a complete hysterectomy, had so many hormonal issues, and it was all vegan induced. So, think twice about what you're doing and why you're doing it. Butcher and Sprout, they get all their food. Oh, that sounds amazing. Can we go there when I come and visit you? That sounds incredible. Is that in Cleveland? Yeah, see, I love these restaurants. Core, yeah, bowl of beans and how, yeah. Yeah, and then you think to yourself, well, I can make it myself. So it should just be inspiration for you to grow your own food, cook your own food. And the Ozempic, we're talking about the weight loss drugs, Ozempic and the semaglutides. I forget what the other ones are called. Wegovy, yeah. And yeah, so I mean, tonight's dinner, I made a pot of lentil soup. So easy, with chicken stock, sauteed onions, garlic, threw the chicken stock in, a little teaspoon of curry, and threw in the red lentils. And then I sauteed grass-fed beef, onions, garlic, a little bit of thyme, and I think a little salt and pepper, and that was it. And put a little, like a spoon of the grass-fed beef in the bottom of the bowl and poured the soup over it. So it was super high protein, super high in fiber, incredibly simple to make, and incredibly healthy and filling. So, healthy doesn't have to be difficult or complex or expensive. Lentils are cheap. Yeah, and it is normal, sadly. But, and I think we can all attest to, we put an extra 5 pounds on when it gets colder because it's lack of movement. The body just naturally wants to retain more fat for thermodynamics. So, and again, yeah, we aren't moving as much in the winter. So I just posted something, or I think I have a post scheduled to come out about, just making sure you're staying moving in the winter, because we don't want to succumb to any of these medications. You're not deficient in weight loss medication. That is not why we are fat as a society. So start really putting a microscope on what it is that you're eating. And then, as this woman talked about on Grow Big last week, if you can move that, your eating habits, first go from poor eating habits to healthy eating habits, more fruits and vegetables, high sources of protein, and then move those to organic. So try to eat organic as much as you can. All the meat I buy is organic. That's one one of my non-negotiables. I don't want to eat non-organic meat or fish. Guided education, one-on-one meal planning, hands-on kitchen prep training, printed guided grocery list, how to read an ingredient label, buy smaller plates. These are, this is so funny. I have all of these courses. So yes, I do. I have all these courses. And I'm just trying to figure out how to actually do these live training workshops. So I need somebody with a little bit of tech guidance. So keep an eye out for that. I've been reading food labels. Well, my mom taught me when I was 8 years old, seven, something like that. And she wouldn't let us buy anything if we couldn't pronounce it. She taught us what was chemical and what was food. And so I created a food label reading course workshop, and I always preface it by saying it's really important to understand how to read food labels. However, if you are still confused when you're reading food labels, you're eating too much from a box, leave it alone and go buy something fresh. So yeah, stomach surgery, removal of 80%, the stomach banding are said to not to work, those in serious weight conditions. Yeah, it's, and I don't know the difference from one to another, but again, I know that people don't get there because their stomachs are too big. Like this whole notion of your stomach is too big, let's just make it smaller. Let's cut some of it out. Anytime you get rid of an organ of any kind, you remove your tonsils. That's an immune organ. You remove the gallbladder. That's a organ that's incredibly important for emulsion of fats and digestion of fats. And a lot of people end up with liver issues because we remove the gallbladder. So the other thing too with these weight loss drugs is in my office, we do body composition testing for weight loss. So yes, I do healthy weight loss with people, but it's more metabolic rebalancing is what I do. So I help get your body functioning again, because a lot of people, as I said earlier, if you're holding extra weight, there's a reason for that. You're not metabolically fit if you can't get rid of it. So, and being not metabolically fit is often because of all the contamination of the food supply and the water too. So we have to have those conversations about how do we clean up the food, clean up the water, get the right fluids in you, get the right amount of protein, fat, carbohydrates. I have a good friend of mine who he's got some health issues. He's metabolically unfit. He's had one heart attack. He's 60, 63, 62, something like that. And this is interesting. He went on Ozempic and he said he was only eating like 800 calories, but he was still trying to do a macro 40, 40, 30. So 40 protein, 40 fat, 30 carbohydrate. And I said, at 800 calories, you're not getting enough protein. You can't do macros at that level. When you are calorically restrictive and you're still trying to work with a percentage of fats, carbohydrates, and proteins, you're not going to get enough protein. You've got to, protein should be all you're eating at that point because you've got to protect the muscle and you're still going to lose a lot of muscle. Well, he had actually lost weight, I think a year ago or so. And all he did was cut out the carbohydrates and just ate high quality protein and good fats and vegetables and the occasional, like a tangerine or something like that. And he lost more weight and felt better doing that than he did on the Ozempic. And I said, well, then why aren't you doing that? Just go back to that. That's eating real food. So we have to work with him. You can do some metabolic fixing on him as well, so he can sustain that. But that's the big issue is that you're buying into something that seems like it's a get rich quick scheme, right? It's a lose weight quick scheme. It's not sustainable. So do it on your own, please. And that's what I'm here for, is to help you. Yes, I love lentils. Lentils are the food of my people. I think they're the food of everyone's people. Hey, Dr. Ron, how are you? Good to see you in here. Yeah, cabbage soup is so good. Oh my gosh. And cabbage, of course, as you guys know, is so good for, it's got compounds in it that help with cancer, inflammation, gut health. It's incredible. So I like this idea. Go buy our own island and start a grocery. I love that idea. Let's do it. Yeah. So the drug is used for people with diabetes and to help with, it's supposed to help with blood sugar. I guess if they're using it for blood sugar regulation, then these people must have been losing weight, which is how now they're using it off label for weight loss. So eat more mutton. Isn't mutton like an old lamb? I was raised on lamb. Hey, Dr. Jen, nice to see you. Yeah, medieval time work. Yep. Yes. Mutton is from sheep. Lamb is from, yes, that's right. That's right. Okay. So this is a great question, Kathleen. With thyroid issues and weight gain, thyroid issues are most often a gluten intolerance. So it's food sensitivity, food allergies. So this is autoimmune. Often people have many autoimmune issues, or there's a multitude of autoimmune issues. And I will say that, is my audio's crackling? Testing. Are you saying, is that better, Shawnee? Am I closer now? Is that better? Give me a thumbs up if, hold on. Audio, really? How long's the audio been bad, you guys? And you're just now telling me? Audio better? Okay, I'm closer now. I'm trying to get that. Here, let me get this up here. All right. Better? Much more better? Okay. Good. All right, perfect. Sorry, you guys. Yes, you're hearing clear, Shawnee. Wonderful. Okay, great. Where did we go? We were talking about thyroid. Okay, so anytime we're talking about anything autoimmune, so it could be thyroid, it could be chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, it could be diabetes. I don't know, name off some other thyroid issue or autoimmune issues. There's so many. IBS, Crohn's, colitis. Anything. If it's autoimmune, it's always a gut issue until proven otherwise. So whenever you have an autoimmune issue, you must fix the gut. And if you fix the gut, you can often start to really clear up not just the autoimmune issues, but then other things that people don't even realize are related to that. So, signal issues. Yeah. So thyroid and weight gain, so that's an interesting circle, because so there's the autoimmune. So it's a gut issue until proven otherwise. If the gut isn't working and the body can't clear toxins, it's going to store it into long-term storage, which is fat. So you see how that becomes a circular issue, right? So a lot of times thyroid is gluten intolerance. The interesting thing about thyroid is that the body attacks anything that looks like gluten, and the thyroid looks like gluten. So you probably have a gluten intolerance. So, and you can't just give up bread and expect that'll do it, because gluten lives in so many things. And that's probably what we should talk about next week, is where do you find gluten, and in what sources do you find gluten? So, because that is really important to understand. So it doesn't matter if it's thyroid or if it's any other autoimmune issue, even cancer. It is a gut issue until proven otherwise. So start to do more gut cleansing. You're probably going to want to watch out for when we do detox with the doc, because that'll be a great place to start to help to clear up the liver, help to get the gut healed, and start to launch you into a little bit of better place. So keep an eye out for that. But that's a great question. Yes, I know, thyroid and gluten, right. Isn't that crazy? And this is also where you go to the endocrinologist for the thyroid, and then you go to somebody else for the weight loss, and nobody's actually connecting the two as related. So this is why we're here. Is I'm here to tell you that you're not pieces and parts, and you are one whole big system. All right, so that we could go on all night on that one. I want to go into another food trend, which is the high protein snacks, and and that is so true. Everybody wants instant gratification. So, and just a reminder also to hit the thumbs up button, please. I'm going to do that here. Thumbs up and share. Perfect. So let's talk about these plant-based proteins. I've done several videos on these. They are over on my channel, so you can go find those. And we're hearing that we should have more protein. That is an absolute fact. We are very protein deficient in our world. I do a lot of blood testing on people, and our nutritional deficiencies are, it's rampant. And it's sad how nutritionally deficient we are. It's also sad that people don't know. You guys don't know what you're eating and what ratios to be eating. Again, that's why I'm here to teach you. So try to be heavier on your vegetables and your protein sources, and very minimal on the starches. And, again, oftentimes if you have some kind of a health issue, hold on, coming over here, I'm going to mute this real quick. So if you have a health issue of any kind, you may, then you just want to make sure that you're eliminating these grains or minimizing them, because grains can be very toxic. They can be very inflammatory. Again, coated in glyphosate or Roundup if you are not choosing organic sources. So that's when we're looking at the plant-based proteins. You're looking at yes, if we isolate, let's say there's protein in an avocado, there's protein in broccoli, there's protein in those things. But when you're going and you're buying plant-based meat patties because you think they're higher in protein, or you think they're healthier than actually eating meat, you are completely being misled. This is a marketing scheme designed to get you to eat a very expensive food-like substance. And in my opinion, if you want meat, eat the meat, because if it looks like meat and it tastes like meat, just eat the meat, because it's like, that's gross to me. And more people, and these are like these TikTok trends, is that more people are trying to make meat-like things out of stuff, and it's gross. So prepping a mixed base like cabbage, kale, microgreens, add carrots or berries, add chicken, nuts, and seeds. This is literally my salad almost daily. So yes, Shawnee, right on. And then the dressing that I make is I take a mason jar like this, and I do like a quarter of it is fresh squeezed lemon juice. And then a half a cup of that is really good single origin cold pressed olive oil. And then I squeeze like 2 to 3 fresh cloves of garlic in there, add some salt. Amazing. And it lasts for, a week or two. I mean, if it lasts for a week or two. But yeah, make your own dressing. And what Shawnee's got listed here, these are incredible greens that help with clearing out the liver. They keep the gut in check. There's a lot of there's a lot of phytonutrients in here, so cancer fighters. they help to feed the good bacteria in the gut. So yeah, that's a perfect meal right there. You don't need a fake burger. Just eat real stuff. And yeah. So Uncle Al says Beyond Meat is not vegan. Well, they claim it is. I mean, I don't know how they're getting away with that, but yeah. And I know that people have, I don't want to jump completely down the vegan rabbit hole because everybody has their reason for doing it. Some people have an allergy to meat where they can't eat it. And honestly, I question this because most of our meat is sprayed with some sort of compound for aging. And a lot of it will be corn based. So I often wonder, are you allergic to the corn or are you allergic to the meat? And you'd have to do the testing, you'd have to do allergy testing to determine that. But you want to start to think about those things is that it might not be the meat. It might just be the fact that it's the chemicals being sprayed on the food and there's no label. When you go buy conventional beef, and actually even the organic beef is sprayed with usually a corn derivative. There's one place, I think it's out of Indiana, and it's an organic grass-fed farm, and they don't spray with anything. So there are places, but you have to find them. You really have to dig to find them. So don't be fooled because they're really, really expensive. And one of the biggest questions or the biggest comments that I get from people is that I can't afford to eat healthy, or eating healthy is expensive. And then they go out and they buy these fake sources of protein, and they're not even high quality protein. So no, if you think that, if you're telling me that you can't afford to eat healthy or that you can't afford to eat meat and you go out and buy those are more expensive. Pound for pound, they are far more expensive. So you have to look and you got to do a little bit of math. So yeah, I know Uncle Al and his mutton and Kenny and his Miracle Whip. Where is Kenny tonight? I'm gonna wake him up. So don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by that. It's just it's a ploy to take your money. So one of the other trends that I wanted to look at is let me scroll through here. Beverages. All right. Beverages are a big one. So everybody, there's Dr. Erica Peabody. There's my girl. Dr. Erica and I were in a mastermind with some other women last night. This is what we do on our Saturdays, you guys, is we sit with other incredible women to learn how to reach out more to people, to help people be healthier, to help create greater impact in the world. And so I am so happy that I get to take that journey with my dear, dear friend. And so once again, making the announcement to go over to Garden State Gardener because Dr. Eric and I will be on there at 7:00. And it was amazing. It was so amazing. And so, yeah, so watch out. She and I are a force to be reckoned with this year. So, all right, so we're going to talk about these beverages. First of all, everybody apparently, I don't know how this whole Stanley Cup craze came about. And every time I say that, I think of like the Stanley Cup, because now they're making Stanley Cups for babies. So, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but okay, so in my head, they love that big giant Stanley Cup. Now I carry a big stainless steel water bottle, not making fun of carrying a big thing, but it's so big that I look at it and I'm like, you're going to knock it over. Like it's going to knock over. It's so top heavy. And that bugs me. So that's just one of my little OCDs, just so you know. So drinks, water. There are these fashion water, it's water in a fancy can. This stuff is so expensive, you guys. Like, don't buy into it. I know it's a TikTok thing. I have not seen the 1 gallon Bubba mug. And again, I'm not discouraging anyone from carrying a water bottle or a container of water, but don't fall prey to two things. the little, oh gosh, there's a brand I can only think of. It's called Mio. I'm looking around as if it's sitting here. This would not exist in my house. It's this liquid stuff that you squirt into your water that flavors your water. That is a chemical bomb. You have just taken all your water and you have completely adulterated it. So no, don't, no, water, water, water. I know Dr. Erica is with me on this one. Just water. Okay. And then these cans of, what are they called? Oh my gosh. I've got them at the office because a patient walked in twice, same patient came in and he was drinking these. And I said, can I keep those cans? And he was like, yeah, sure. So he finished it and I kept them because I'm going to do a video for you guys on this stuff, how expensive it is and how there's additives in them that you don't even, like, again, you're not even paying attention. And it's water, water, water. That's what we need. Don't get pulled into that direction of expensive. It's a free resource. Now, also not saying that there are times when I will go get a bottle of water which it's rare that I'm out of water, but if I have to buy water, I'm buying water. I'm buying water, not, what is this water called? It's driving me nuts. I want to call it Monster water, but even those, right? Those drinks and it says, high in taurine, good for brain health. No, it's high in shit. There's so much garbage in there. It's full of artificial sweeteners, flavors, and colors. And those are my top 3 rules. No artificial sweeteners, flavors, or colors. And then you've got to look at all the other stuff. So that's it. Oh my God. Yes. Thank you, Happy Mac. Liquid death. What is this stuff? It's water. It's water, but it's in this really fancy, I got to look this up. How did you pull that out, Happy Mac? Liquid death water. Yes. Murder your thirst. What a great marketing campaign. Ingredients. Here we go. Let's see. It's 100% mountain water from the Alps. It contains over 2 times more electrolytes than other brands. And let's see. It's $59 for, I got to break down the pricing on this for you because it's so expensive. It's so expensive. And, because also, often people will say, I can't afford to put in a water system in my house, but you're buying that stuff all day long. What if you just saved your money from that and then put that towards a water system? You can buy an under sink water system at Home Depot for like $300, like a good one for like $300. You can do a whole house one for like $1,200. So they're not really that expensive in the grand scheme of things. So I don't mean the Diet Coke to offset the Whopper and fries. Right. Yes. So I know. So I've got my sparkling water right here, which is the Topo Chico, which is just straight mineral water. And then I have my actual water. Always have the water. Yes. Right. It is an awesome looking can. That's what I'm saying. It's, the money's in the can. And who drinks it? Is kids. It gets the attraction of kids. So be really, really mindful. Again, if you're somebody who's saying, I can't afford to do X, then start to think about what is it that you are spending your money on. If, they sold cigarettes with a skull and crossbones, all black, will cause death. And people still smoke. It's crazy. So, that company's only 5 years old. It was created to be a healthier version of Monster. Yeah, I wonder if it's probably owned by Pepsi or something, would be my guess. So, yeah. What's Uncle Al saying? Canteen water, lemon, cucumber, bourbon, right? A freaking men to that, Uncle Al. Yes. All right, you guys, I only got through 3 of my 10, but your questions are amazing. But so those are the top 3 is you're not deficient in Ozempic. So start looking at what foods are causing you that, if you can move over to more healthier sources that are higher in and organic sources, and then stay away from the plant-based garbage and stay away from expensive water and just drink water, water, water. So I think that's it. If anybody doesn't have any more questions, it's not owned by a big company. It's owned by a couple of guys. Okay. All right. Yeah. In Australia, basically Comcast, Cola, and Pepsi own everything water too. Well, I think, aren't those Comcast, Cola, and Pepsi, aren't there like only 8? I think there's like 8 corporations that own everything in the world, like all the food system. So, Wickershire, fluorescent, yeah. It's like putting perfume on the, yeah, it still smells. Walks like a duck. No, wait. Put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig. Yeah. There you go. All right, you guys, I'm going to jump off because I know Joe wants us over there a few minutes early so we can do a sound check. So I'm going to invite everybody over to Garden State Gardener to hang out with me and Dr. Erica for half an hour. And I appreciate you guys being here. Tomorrow is Reset Monday at 9:40. And then on Thursday, we have another episode of Chiropractic is Sexy. So we'll see you guys hopefully over on Joe's channel. And if not, have an incredible week. Always appreciate your support. And please share this out so we can continue to grow and bring you the best of health. All right, you guys. See ya. Thanks a lot. Bye.